Imagine a city of 1 million people. Imagine getting to know it, everything about it, in a week. A city like Hong Kong, a British Crown colony, a natural harbour, one of Asia's biggest and busiest ports. What goes on in any normal week in Hong Kong? Like so many great modern trading cities, Hong Kong began as a tiny fishing village. Now everyone is a sailor in Hong Kong, commuting between the island and the city of Kowloon and the villages and towns of the new territories. Carrying on a multitude of businesses it would take a week to list. In the Crown colony as a whole, there are 4 million busy people. With expansion at its present rate, there's work for everyone who wants it in Asia's city of 1,000 and more trades. And of course, Hong Kong is a great marketplace and finance center. In the business and commercial area of the city, the banks of the world meet to support the expansion of one of the world's fastest growing economies. Hong Kong sells as fast as it makes. That's something everyone finds out in the first 5 minutes. Fast enough for a lot of exports to be shipped by air from Kai Tak Airport. Kai Tak is something of a marvel. Its runway juts more than 8,000 feet into the sea, and there are plans to make it bigger to carry the jumbo jets of the future. Every day, the Boeings bring in people who want to see what Hong Kong has to offer. They come from Frankfurt and Fremantle, Toulouse and Tokyo, Bombay and Birmingham. Businessmen of all kinds, bankers, financiers, engineers, economists. They come to see how a future that was dreamed about 10 years ago has flowered. They come to see how Hong Kong has become the supermarket of the East. Others come home to their families, for the Hong Kong man is inquisitive enough to want to see what the rest of the world has to offer. The rest come to relax. Holidaymakers, tourists, anyone with a feeling for the Asian scene, sooner or later must spend a week in Hong Kong. If they come by water, they'll find one of the world's biggest shopping centers at the New Ocean Terminal. Sea travelers just step into a 9-acre, 2-decker marketplace. Air-conditioned, spacious, comfortable. And if they like, they can spend a whole week watching the bustling port all around them, right next to where the world's cargo ships are loading. Trade thrives. Exports and re-exports all up in 1967. There is more employment, more factories, more people. More people. More people every week in Hong Kong. And more houses for them too. The building industry booms. The shortage of space is just another accepted challenge. Where there was once overcrowding, now everyone is getting a home with a room with a view. At the Wah Fu Housing Authority site, it's a room with a view by the seaside. Resettlement has always been a problem in Hong Kong, but since 1954, more than 1 million people have been moved into new homes. The space problem has literally been blasted away from the rock. Most of those who lived in squatters' shacks or the sampans and junks of the fishing village of Aberdeen now live in flats, more or less at the water's edge, close to the harbour life they know, and close to those who still live not only by the sea and from it, but on it. But every week in Hong Kong, the fisher folk choose the amenities of the 20th century. The amenities of a new age move into the foreground. Industrial giants stand where once there were just pretty Chinese pictures. The picture is still pretty, and it tells the story of power and progress. Explosive power blasts out holes for the pylons that will carry electricity across Hong Kong Island to the thousands of new homes that need light and heat. Here there's enough for 30,000, and more to come when another 60-megawatt generator is completed. Technology puts electric power into the people's hands. It also updates the ancient craft of patent carpet making. Foreign currency-earning craftsman is no rare bird. The old world's crafts are never as old-fashioned as they seem in an export-minded economy. And whatever the goods, Hong Kong has them, and the world wants them. With 4 million shoppers on the doorstep, home demand means a lot too. Everyone in Hong Kong is familiar with the ubiquitous toys of the transistor age. A week is hardly enough time to get to know the names. West Bay might be an exclusive and costly Mediterranean hideaway, but it's one of scores of secluded beaches scattered around the colony, a good place to stop running. And this is November. Repulse Bay is the Monaco of the East. No one needs a whole week to discover surroundings like these, or to discover that a week is hardly enough time to begin to soak up their atmosphere. Much more than a hive of industry, finance and commerce, Hong Kong is a place in the sun. Even in the midst of the hurry of the harbour, yachtsmen are as busy as anyone, following their fancy. Free as the wind, any Saturday afternoon. And in the middle of the city, well north of the equator, in November too, the quietest game of them all. There are other quiet things and places in Hong Kong, Kowloon, the islands and the farmlands to the north. There's Statue Square, surrounded by the great banks and towering modern hotels. Just an oasis of relaxation and colour at any time of the day or year. Skyscrapers have become Hong Kong's symbol, the ever-changing skyline. Other symbols are older and not likely to change. The dragon, for instance, may seem just like another antique Chinese invention, but the dragon banner proclaims the modern age too. Hong Kong Week, November 1967. A time for the colony to show itself to the world, and to itself. The dragon, in another ancient but vivid form, performs the opening ceremony for a very special week in Hong Kong. Ancient or modern, ingenuity in Hong Kong is intrinsic. What began as a festival of fashion became an opportunity for everyone to display their wares. But since one of the colony's fastest-growing modern industries is fashion, let's see the trend-setting, original and sought-after designs that are putting Hong Kong on the fashion map with London, Paris and Rome. Hong Kong's Festival of Fashion was the first of its kind in Asia, designed to make the world much more aware of the new ideas coming from the colony's top designers. These are designs for clothes for modern living. Evening wear, morning wear, cocktails, dinner, dancing and the beach. The beach. If you like, it's Hong Kong's own version of the swinging Californian scene. All you need is half a hundredweight of charcoal, a balmy land breeze and a couple of dozen steaks. The rest is up to you and your friends. In the surroundings, you couldn't fail. Only in January and February is it cold enough to keep people away from the beaches. Summer weeks in Hong Kong are long, as are the nights, where the acreage of neon must shame any night sky save Las Vegas, where they claim the night is brighter than day. The night sky is lit up like a beckoning beacon. There seems to be no end to the day. Somewhere work goes on. It must, but so does play. Floodlit football, skin diving, racing, and that most sophisticated of automated amusements, bowling. They can keep 40 lanes busy at the South China Athletic Association Alley every night of the week in Hong Kong. Outside, the lights blaze on. The city can advertise a message that means much more than lights in the night sky. Whether in English or Chinese, the message is the same. Any week in Hong Kong, you are welcome to come and stay for much more than a week.